Let's face it, if you're here, you've probably had it with the eye rolls, slammed doors, and sarcastic comments. It's frustrating, right? But here's a shocking fact. 90% of parents admit they've faced serious disrespect from their teenagers at least once. You're not alone. The good news? Disrespect isn't a permanent personality trait, it's a behavior that can be changed. What most people don't know is that disrespect in teens is often a sign of something deeper, like stress, insecurity, or feeling misunderstood. In fact, studies show that 1 in 3 teens admits they don't feel truly heard by their parents. But here's the exciting part. With the right strategies, you can turn things around. In this video, we'll dive deep into understanding your teen's behavior, learn how to respond calmly, and set up boundaries that work, without all the drama. Ready to rebuild that connection and get your teenager to show some respect? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Silent Scream. Understanding why teens rebel. Teenagers can feel like strangers in their own skin. The teenage years are a time of intense emotional and physical change, and sometimes, disrespect is simply a reaction to all that pressure. Research shows that 80% of teenagers experience mood swings due to hormonal changes. It's not always about you, it's about what they're going through. Start by observing patterns. Are there specific situations that trigger their attitude? Dr. Daniel Siegel, in his book Brainstorm, explains that the teen brain undergoes rewiring, making them more reactive and impulsive. This doesn't mean they are deliberately being difficult, they may just need more patience and understanding. Rather than jumping to conclusions or punishments, ask yourself, what is my teen really trying to say? Sometimes, disrespect is just a way for them to express feelings they don't have words for. By understanding their inner world, you can respond more thoughtfully. Chapter 2. Mirror Talk. Reflecting respect. To get respect. If you want respect, give respect. It sounds simple, but it's easy to forget. Teens are incredibly perceptive. They notice everything, including how you talk to them. Studies show that parents who speak respectfully to their teens are 60% more likely to receive respect back. If you're constantly yelling or being sarcastic, they'll mirror that behavior. One way to start is by practicing active listening. When your teen speaks, listen fully without interrupting or preparing your response. According to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families by Stephen Covey, one of the keys to improving family dynamics is, seek first to understand, then to be understood. When teens feel heard, they are more likely to communicate calmly. Another tip is to avoid power struggles. Instead of saying, you need to show me respect, try saying, I really appreciate it when we talk calmly to each other. This small shift makes the conversation less about authority and more about mutual respect. Chapter 3. Decoding teen language. Responding instead of reacting. Teens sometimes say things that can be downright hurtful. But here's the trick, don't react emotionally. Reacting with anger or frustration only feeds the cycle of disrespect. A study published by the Journal of Adolescent Health found that parents who respond calmly are 50% more likely to diffuse conflict. When your teen lashes out, take a moment to breathe. This pause gives you time to respond instead of react. For example, instead of saying, don't talk to me like that, you could say, it sounds like you're upset. Let's talk about it when we're both calm. If the conversation escalates, step away. It's okay to say, we'll revisit this later, and walk away from the conflict. A break allows both of you to cool down and approach the issue with a clearer mindset. Dr. Laura Markham, author of Peaceful Parent, Happy Kids, suggests that emotional regulation in parents often sets the tone for their children's behavior. If you're into this, subscribe and let's keep moving forward with the video. Chapter 4. The Power of Boundaries. Discipline without the drama. Teens need boundaries, even if they push against them. Setting clear and consistent rules helps them feel secure. According to a study by Psychology Today, teens raised with firm but fair boundaries are 47% less likely to engage in risky behavior. But here's the catch, the way you enforce these rules matters. Instead of yelling or enforcing harsh punishments, keep discipline calm but firm. One effective technique is the if-then approach. For example, if you don't clean up your room by the end of the day, then you lose your gaming time tomorrow. This removes emotion from the equation and shows the consequences clearly. Remember to explain the why behind your rules. Teens are more likely to follow rules when they understand the reasoning. Psychologist John Gottman, in his book Raising an Emotionally Intelligent Child, emphasizes that explaining rules teaches kids to internalize values instead of just fearing punishment. So, explain why respect matters in your household. Chapter 5. Reconnecting after the clash. Healing the parent-teen bond. Fights happen. But what's more important is what happens after the clash. Repairing the relationship post-argument is key to building long-term respect. According to the Journal of Family Psychology, families that prioritize reconciliation after conflicts have a 65% higher chance of maintaining strong bonds. Start with a simple step: apologize when necessary. If you overreacted or said something hurtful, acknowledge it. This teaches your teen that owning up to mistakes is part of being respectful. As Brené Brown says in her book Daring Greatly, apologizing doesn't mean you're wrong, it means you value the relationship more than your ego. After things cool down, initiate a heart-to-heart conversation. Ask your teen how they felt during the argument and share your feelings too. This open communication helps clear the air and rebuild trust. Just remember, it's not about rehashing the fight, but about healing the relationship. Chapter 6. The Respect Reset. Building long-term change. Building respect isn't a one-time fix. It's a long-term process. But the good news? Small, consistent efforts can make a big difference. Studies show that families who practice positive reinforcement see a 70% increase in desired behaviors over time. Instead of focusing only on what your teen does wrong, highlight what they do right. Celebrate the small wins. If your teen talks to you calmly instead of snapping, recognize it. A simple, "Thanks for speaking to me respectfully just now," reinforces good behavior without making it a big deal. In her book The Whole Brain Child, Dr. Tina Payne Bryson suggests that positive feedback strengthens the brain's pathways for respectful communication. Finally, give it time. Changing habits takes patience. You might not see results overnight, but with persistence, the atmosphere at home will improve. It's all about creating a culture of respect, one step at a time. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more great content like this.